Hey, good morning, everybody. Thrilled you're here. Happy Coronavirus Day again. Happy Friday. I know things are like really strange in these uncertain times, but you know what? We've been through this so many times. And when we come together like we are, like our communities are coming together, then that's actually one of the benefits of all of this is we're finding that people are getting past their normal walls and boundaries and difficulties and looking at each other with a new sense of compassion and community. And that's at least the movement, that I've been seeing in many areas. And the more of us who are on that movement, on that train, the better it all turn out. Absolutely. So I'm Rita Hickman. I'm a body mind expert and a shiatsu massage therapist, and I help women who are all stressed out from narcissistic relationships, crazy in the head and worn out and sick and nauseous, and their back hurts because they're dealing with people who are toxic and have mental health disorders, literally, that you're feeling kind of crazy as well. I totally get it. And you're trying to control it, and you're trying to keep it managed, and you're trying to not take it out on everybody else, but it's building up. You can probably feel it in tension headaches or stress in your shoulders, or your skin starting to feel a little creepy, crawly. So I know people are, even if you are okay with what's going on in your home, um, you can still feel because you're probably empathic. You're an empath, hence why you're watching this, and probably in a narcissistic relationship. You're feeling everybody's stress. You're feeling worldwide anxiety. So cut yourself a break, realize that you're feeling anxious, and do something about it. And that's what we're here to do today. Because what I do is I don't just help people by blah, 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 blah. I help people by helping them reconnect with their body, by listening to their body, by relieving the stress in their nervous system, by helping them make good physical choices to cope with what's going on in their life. There's a lot you can control. A lot of us don't know that. We don't realize that. So I don't know when it started, but how long ago did it start that we started to tell our bodies that we were ashamed of them? When we started to tell them that we weren't going to listen to them, that we were just going to power through and push through, and it didn't matter how sick or hard or sweaty. Maybe it was when we were growing up as kids. We were told to push and push and push through it, to not be lazy, to not be stupid. Now, a lot of people, maybe that was beneficial for them. Maybe they needed that. In fact, I had this long conversation once with a client who was an auditor for the state, tax auditor for the state. Would you believe it? And we talked about the purpose of religion. And from their point of view, religion was designed to give people a set of guidelines to live by, because naturally they wouldn't live by that because they're too selfish and self-absorbed. And I never understood that. It's one of the reasons I never got into religion too deeply, even though I was raised Catholic, because I don't believe that. I don't need a church to tell me how to live my life, what's good and what's bad. I don't need anyone else to tell me what my values are. And I was always that way. And I assumed that other people were that way too. However, as I've gotten older, I realized some people are that way and some people aren't. Some people need religion and they need the rules and they need the guidelines, and some people don't. But here's the deal. You have got power over how you physically feel. You really do. We need to stop ignoring it. Stop telling it that it's wrong to feel good. It's wrong to make sure that your body gets the nourishment that it needs. We're supposed to punish it. We're supposed to punish ourselves because it's a bad body. You know what? Your body is just as equal in intelligence as every other part of you. And you need to not only feed your mind, and when you feed your mind, your ego can get a little bit bigger, right? Because your mind is so strong compared to your heart or compared to your gut. That's how we end up with intellectual narcissism. People who think that they're smarter than everybody else. And in some ways they are, but they're disconnected from other parts of themselves. Other people, they feel everything with their heart, and they've got no rationality to balance it out or intuition to balance it out. They're imbalanced. People can be imbalanced by always working from their gut or always working from their heart or always working for their brain. It's not how you're supposed to work. You're supposed to connect all of them. And most women who are empaths, a long time ago, we gave up on our body. We told our body that it had nothing to offer us, that we needed to ignore it. Maybe we had shame or old trauma from childhood abuse, whether mental, physical, sexual, whatever it may be, emotional. But we denied and hated our bodies in some way and told it that it needed to be better, it needed to do more, when in reality it needed love and kindness and nourishment. And that's what we're going to give it today. Because when you start loving your body, your stress level goes down. You're better able to manage everything else around you. You're better able to navigate and keep from triggering. When you take good care of your body, you find emotional balance and you find intellectual intelligence and wisdom. So let's work on our body a little bit today. So we're going to work with the nervous system. And when our nervous system is stressed out, it shuts things down. You've noticed that. You know, sometimes it shuts down blood to your stomach or to your intestines, and you can't digest anything. That's what happens when we're in a high level of fight or flight. When we're in fight or flight, all of our other systems shut down. Our digestive system shuts down. Our immune system shuts down because we need the resources to be in fight or flight. We're constantly ready to run. And that's what happens when you're in a narcissistic relationship. You walk on eggshells. It's what it feels like or looks like, that you're walking on eggshells when your body is stressed out. But when you take care of your body, when you do things that it needs to feel good, when you're supposed to feel good, when you're supposed to relax, when you're supposed to take that time, no matter what anybody else has said or told you or comes after you for or mocks you for, whatever it may be, you have to take care of how you feel. That's really important. So today we're going to take care of how you feel. We're going to calm down your nervous system, that fight or flight part, and we're going to help you get into activate your parasympathetic. You can think clearly. Your blood flow is good. Where you are relaxed, so your nervous system opens up and blood can flow and nervous systems can flow and everything can flow. You know, we're going to work on that today. We're working on relaxing so your body can heal itself and so that it can help you not feel so stressed out, right? Because stress is a feeling, as well as, you know, obsessive thinking. But the obsessive thinking is typically a side effect of how you feel. And if you can relieve how you feel, how your body feels, then a lot of obsessive thinking totally calms down or goes away because you're not stressed out. Think about it. If you're tightening up, if everything's tightened up, blood does not circulate well and it starts to back up and it backs up in your head and it makes your head feel uncomfortable and it makes your head feel like it's obsessed and not working with things. You know, other people will hold it more around their heart and they'll feel hypersensitive and everything will knock them off balance and their nervous system will trigger. Or some people hold it in their gut and then you can't digest and then you end up with nausea and indigestion and heartburn and slow digestion and all sorts of icky things around that because your body locked down. There wasn't good circulation. Poisons and toxins built up. They didn't get flushed out. Things aren't working the way that they need to work to. A healing mindset is a relaxed mindset. It truly, truly is. So the first thing I want you to do is find a space where you can relax. I know it's hard to find when you are at home with a narcissist. Sometimes the only place to relax is a shower or sitting in the bathroom, you know? Do you remember a Christmas Story where Ralphie would hang out in the bathroom to get some privacy? We all have to do that sometimes. And if that's what you need to do, or hide for a little bit, or go behind the house, or have a big angry episode so everybody leaves you alone for 10 minutes, do what you got to do, but find a space where you can breathe, okay? And you need to do this regularly. You have to find a space where you can breathe. All right. So listen to this later. If you can't do it now, think about it so that you can, you know, do something similar if you're in the shower and your phone isn't waterproof and mine isn't. And let's go. All right, take a deep breath. We're going to do this 3 times. And this 3rd time, I want you to bear down a little bit, as if you're kind of, going to the bathroom. But that bearing down presses on the vagus nerve and tells your nervous system to calm down. So 3rd breath. Bear down. And release. You should start feeling a little more relaxed already. I want you to take your right hand and put it right at the base of your skull, right where your skull meets your neck. It should feel fairly good there. You can do it under your hair or on top of your hair, whatever works best. I actually like under my hair. So I'm going to touch the back of my skull and the top of my neck and just sort of cradle it. Now take your left hand, put your palm right next to your breastbone. So here's your breastbone, and go to the left, I don't know, like half an inch. You'll find it. It'll be a spot that feels good to have some pressure on it with your palm, okay? So just hold that back of your head and your heart. No rules. All right, I want you to take your right hand and I want you to put it right at the base of your skull again, right in the middle, but move up. So now you're right where your skull and your neck meet. And I'm only using like 4 fingers, so this is what it looks like. That's what I'm doing. Right down that middle line, and it should feel like, oh, okay, that feels kind of good. If you notice yourself taking deep breaths, that's your body relaxing. That's what it means. All right, move to your left with your right hand. Move to your left, I don't know, 1/4 inch. You should feel maybe a bump there. It should feel good. Just put a little pressure on that. While you're doing that, here your palms on your heart, right? Your left hand, I want you to kind of arch over your breastbone and touch the same spot on the other side. See, that's what it looks like. Touch the same spot. Oh, and it may be tender. Touch both those spots at the same time, and your right hand still on the back of your head. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? A little tender. Don't press a lot. Don't make it painful for yourself. More than feels good to be painful. You know that. Okay, right hand again. Go back to that center line where your spine would be. And this time go to the right, like 1/4 inch. Find that bump. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? Press right there. Oh. All right, take both your hands, right and left. Go down the back of your head. Find those same spots that you were just pressing, the one on the left and the one on the right, with your fingers, like this. Press on both those spots again at the same time. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? Okay. Move around. Find a couple different spots in that area. Oh, that feel good on your skull. Do you know how many attachments are there? Oh, so many muscular attachments, so many nervous system attachments. So just play with that whole little back part of yourself. I know that sounded weird, but just ignore it. Okay. Now take your hands, put your right hand with the palm right in that hollow that you were before on your heart. That was a little tender. Take the other hand and just put it on top. Let's hold this for a few seconds. It may feel, for me, it feels like a yearning when I press that, like a, like you're on the edge of something. This is you, comforting that part of you. Now take your right hand, put it back in that same spot, but this time use some fingers. It's like we're going a little bit more specific. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? And you can move around a little bit. Me, I'll go from palm to maybe fingers to like one finger. You find that one spot. Let's hold it. For me, it feels like it's in between two ribs. Now take your left hand, all right? Want you to breastbone to your right, that 1/2 inch. Do all the fingers. Let's hold it. Then if you want, go to one finger. Oh, ooh, that's tender. Ah. So not too much. Do you see me wiggling a little bit? It's like a self-massage then. It's called pinning. You hold something in place and you move the body around it. It helps you get in deeper, helps stretch things a little bit, relieve that tenderness, relieve that congestion. When something is tender, it usually means that it's congested in some way with blood or lymph or something. But there's a backup because it's that inflammation, that congestion that presses on the nerves and makes it feel tender. So when we press on those spots, it tells the body to focus on it, to open up the blood vessels again and to flush things out and get things moving, to get the circulation. Okay, take your right hand, find that spot again. Oh. It's tender. 1/2 inch on either side, but it's good to cross your arms like this because it's that whole crossing of the brain, engaging both sides of your brain. Okay, I'm gonna, at least on my left side, I'm gonna go to a finger because it's tender there, more tender there. Do you see how that changed? How that made things shift a little bit when you have both hands? It changes the whole. Remember, we're all part of one large system. Your body is one large system, and everything that you do affects something else. And it moves it and lets you go into deeper or different ways or a different angle. So when you work the environment or the system around a point, you know, like when we wiggle to do self-massage like that, or when we move our bodies in specific ways to get kind of the massage that we want by pinning that area. So you'll notice the tenderness relieves itself. It opens it up. We hold motions in different parts of our body. We hold them in our heart. We hold them in our gut. An emotion to our body is a place where our nervous system is still protecting. And so it limits circulation to it. And then, of course, that means that cellular waste builds up and inflammation builds up and it becomes tender. And then we don't have that free flow of emotion. See, I'm already feeling better in this spot on the left. Cool. Okay, so next, both hands off. Take your right hand. Let's see, let me put this down a little bit. Put it right, your palm, right under that notch on your diaphragm and solar plexus area. Here, I want to see me too. We'll do both. Okay, there we go. That works. So your palm right underneath that notch. You can rub it a little bit if you want. You have no idea how much stress we hold in our diaphragm because almost everybody breathes shallowly. So I want you to take your left hand, put it on your chest just like this, and have this hand pay attention to how you're breathing. Okay, just hold this right hand and don't do anything with it. Just hold it there, but have your left hand pay attention to how you're breathing. And you breathe shallowly. Most of us do. And so your diaphragm doesn't get a workout, doesn't get moved, doesn't get activated. And so guess what? It acts as a sinkhole for all sorts of emotions. That's one of the reasons that breath work works, is when you start doing deeper and deeper breaths, it stimulates and moves your diaphragm, And any molecules of emotion, because they're chemicals, any emotions that have sort of hung out there in the black hole of your diaphragm because you don't breathe deeply, gets released into your system, into your bloodstream. And you'll have an emotional reaction sometimes because of it, because you suddenly remembered or felt things you hadn't felt before. Because just by touching something, it tells the body to pay attention and start to open it up. So now you may notice on both hands that they're getting a little bit warm. That's good. That's your body saying, pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. Open this up. Okay, I'm going to go with those fingers again, my right hand, straight line. Find the spot where it feels like it could really use a little bit of opening. Feel your diaphragm push up against that right hand. It has to work just a little bit. Has to push up against that little bit of pressure. That's good because it gets it massaged and more relaxed. Take your left hand again, put it back on those two sides of your breastbone, to the right and to the left by about 1/2 inch. It should feel better. It should feel less tender. Now take your left hand, breastbone, just to the left. Just that little spot that's right next to that. Oh, that feels good. Isn't that nice? Okay, take your hands, right and left. Cross your arms like this. Your right hand on your left shoulder. And your left hand on your right shoulder. You don't have to choke yourself, but I'm using my fingers, this part, not the whole hand. And I'm finding the spot where it feels good to press on my shoulders. And even, massaging it or squeezing it a little bit with my hands. No wonder our brains and our egos can get so inflated or freaked out, because when we're stressed out, we raise our shoulders, we tense up here. Our brain doesn't get connected to the rest of our body. It's only when we're relaxed that our brain can connect to the rest of our body and not be so isolated, and realize that it isn't the smartest thing. Your heart's pretty smart. In fact, your heart's probably smarter than your brain. Your heart's pretty smart. Your digestive system and abdomen are pretty smart. Think about all those consciousnesses of all those bacteria. Does this feel good right now? You may feel your muscles let go. You may be able to start hearing your own heartbeat. You'll notice different parts of your body letting go. Maybe your middle back, maybe your lower back, maybe any place you're holding tension. And when you naturally take a deep breath like that, it's your body relaxing. Parasympathetic nervous system coming on, which is good. Okay, take both your hands. I just want you to rub them up and down your arms a few times. This is what we naturally do when we comfort ourselves, right? And this naturally calms your body down. This is a way that you can calm your nervous system. Just sort of brush each arm, brush the other arm. You'll notice that it makes you feel calmer. Okay, lastly, both hands, palms, on those same spots you were working before, but just sort of rest them there. If you want, you can rest your hands wherever you want. Oh, we have one more spot. Both fingers in the finger, right in that notch. Right in that notch a little bit. It'll probably feel a little tender, which is good. You know, we did the broad work before because it relaxed the muscles on the outside. Once those muscles relaxed, it allows us to go deeper and work on some of the muscles on the inside. That's why we're using the specific, whole finger. And if your stomach growls, that's good. Means your digestive system's coming back online. Okay, take both your hands, straight palms to it. Let's rub them together, warm them up a little bit. Just put them right here. Oh, doesn't it feel good? That warmth on our face. Okay, let's end how we started. Right hand on your forehead, left hand on the back of your head. Okay, we're done for today. All right, if you know women who are stressed out and struggling, who don't know they're in narcissistic relationships, because you know what? A lot of women in toxic relationships, because of the secrets, they don't recognize or realize that there's something that they can do. They don't even know there's a name. They just still think it's all their fault and they're ashamed and trapped and they don't tell anybody. And when they do tell people, everybody tells them that they're wrong or stupid or why do they let themselves be treated that way? And a whole bunch of shaming, which is why we don't talk to people because many people have their own issues. They haven't done their work yet. So just relax. And if you know any woman, as I said, who needs some help relaxing, who needs some help reconnecting and dealing with the insanity of being trapped in a house with a narcissist, then share this with them because we can start to move them in a good direction, okay? All right, so there's 3 ways I help people. One, I've got a whole free library that I can give you access to. It's searchable. The second way is I've got a beautiful coaching group of women that we meet every week. And we do different sacred talking circles and chanting and drumming. And it's really beautiful. And then the third way is coaching with me one-on-one. Many women in the coaching group do work with me one-on-one. And you can work on with me by, doing a package, just doing once, seeing me once a month. We figure something out that works for you, okay, to move you in the right direction. Have them reach out, give me 24 to 48 hours to get back to them. And because I'm not automated, I'm a person. And they can email me at rhickman@inspiremassage.com or leave a message. And if I don't get back to the message or to the comment, try again, reach out a little bit more. Communication can be a little tricky sometimes with all the different platforms. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm looking forward to mine, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.